We're going to grab something here. We're going to grab a pen nib. We have to ink this, right? So what do we got here? Okay, this is a Hunt 108 in the little folder right here, or the holder. And we're going to make our first attempt at doing it. We're going to start with an outline, okay? Mr. Producer has brought up the page that I was talking about earlier. So where should we start? Basically, you can start anywhere. Am I going to follow every line exact? Absolutely not. Little things are going to take over here. If I can get the damn thing working. When you do folds, try not to go generic, because there's so many things you can do with folds that go beyond generic. I can always tell when an artist is using generic folds. It gets boring after a while. So let's get her hand in here, as long as we're doing this extremity. Be very careful when you do fingers. That's why I got that hand folder, right, guys? That's right. You really have to take your time when you're doing these things. Because if you do bad hands, it kind of exposes you as a turkey. And especially when it comes to Thanksgiving, you are in trouble. All artists have done hands for a long time, but it doesn't mean you can't stay in the stick and get off the can and on the stick. Remember that one? You can't always refresh yourself with new ways of remembering things, because we're talking about our memory banks here, and they don't always work the way we want them to. In order not to get my hand in the ink that is going to stick around for a little while, I'm gonna twist the page. This is a common practice among all people doing inking. So they don't get their hand in the ink. All folds work a certain way. Too many ums going on here. Did you know in high school, when I was taking a speech class for extra credit, I said 47 you knows? And by the time I got done with that class, I was down to 48. Silence. The dick is always trying to get camera time here. And the way that this will drape is very particular. This 108, Hunt 108 is a great flexible nib. So if I can find a way to not get my hand in the damn stuff, I'll be doing okay. Sundra Peale. When a girl's hips go in jeans, there's a little bit of a baby fat thing going on there. Try to remember that, because it's what you see in real life, and it adds a lot of actual legitimacy to your work when you do little things like that that are real. And I'm a realist, so it's time to get real. You have to be very, you got to be careful, but you have to be diligent and aware of how the lines are going here, because all these contours should be dead on. If they're off, it's going to be obvious. Make sure things go around when you do things that have dimension to them. A little indication of the knee there. These are always tough, these calf areas here. Do I have to turn this thing around? Apparently I do. So let's see if I can. You see how the line stops? Maybe I just need to add more ink. I don't know. Okay, so we got some nice outlines going on here. For you guys that are the slick type inkers, that's not what I am. I'm just not. I admire it when people can do work like that. But I don't seem to be of that variety. Apparently we're saving the head for last. Is that true, Steve? Yes, it's true. It's true, Steve. Sundra Peale's got this very interesting outfit on. It's I kind of made it up. This is where all the folds just kind of swing back and forth. Yeah, it always stops, doesn't it? But you'll want to see me do it first, and then you won't feel so bad when you guys do it. All right, time to get out the... hold your ears, guys. When this is going on, just turn on a movie, watch a musical, go outside, come back in a couple minutes. Because that's when I'll be ready to keep going here. Time for the face. Oh, don't forget her little belly thing here. Okay, so this is where we really slow down here, guys. And try to examine every contour here, because when it comes to girls, you guys know what you're in for. I don't know what she's saying, but she looks pretty happy. The two things on the face that register all the emotion are the eyes and the mouth. They will tell you everything you need to know. Sundra's a blonde, so I'm not going to give her heavy brows. Okay. It actually looks like she's belting into a song. We mentioned musicals earlier. This is probably from Oklahoma. Or The Music Man. Be careful with these ears. Hair is where you can get really cursive. When the wind goes riding down the plains. Okay, so we'll get her hat on. This is her Dodgers cap. In my story, the Brooklyn Dodgers have returned to Brooklyn. Isn't that cool? You can do anything you want in comics and get away with it. And how many people would love to hear that? So let's see, this is critical stuff here. I think that nose is a little off there. Yeah, I think the nose is down too far. So the whiteout's going to have to come in. The blessed whiteout. Yeah, okay, well, we always endeavor to try. Now here comes the brushwork. You get the fat ink out, all right? The fat ink. And that is right over here. F for fat. And we're going to grab a brush. And where is that brush? It's right here. This is the number 10. You guys have heard me go on and on about sissy brushes for the longest time, so I'm not going to bring up the sissy brush thing again. I guess I just did, but you know. Yeah, there's going to be whiteout on Sundra Peale's face right here to get it right. One of the things I always do is get the mirror out. That's actually the subject of one of my little shorts on YouTube. Grab the mirror and see it from a fresh point of view and see how badly you did. This, I think we're going to do some feathering here. Because her knee is kind of going down in shadow. We need some thinner lines here. And this brush is a little is getting kind of worn. So be careful about that. This is a cast shadow that goes on her leg. So hopefully the black spotting will look okay when we get it done here. Sometimes you want to reinforce some of these lines. You know, if I was better with a pen, I'm sure I could have done it the first time. You see how that goes, guys? Sure, anyone can master it. I love it when they say, "Well, if I can do it, you can do it too." Well, wouldn't that be nice if it worked like that? Who should I say hi to? Katie Turnbridge, who did our voiceover for the thing you saw earlier today. She's an Aussie, and she did a great job. That's why we hired her. She's also a fantastic musician. There is a cast shadow that comes on these lapels here. If you've noticed, they kind of stick out at a certain way, especially when what, Steve? Especially when you got your arms out. I have different size brushes. Mostly I'm inking with, this is kind of the mass in the blacks, actually. This number 10. I almost said low Cornell. Well, don't I wish, right? I talked enough about those. They stopped making them. Death to the people that stopped making them. After all, it seems fair to me. I think they should be on death row for doing that. Oh, Oklahoma. Yeah, the mouth is way messed up here, but that's okay. Well, it's not okay, but that's what happens. These need to be more refined a little bit here. This is going to go in sort of back in space, so I'm going to put these in here. Sort of. There can be a little bit of a cast shadow. coming across there in that leg. How is this done? How do you figure these things out? Well, it's the only way is to do it so often that it becomes, and this is what you hear all the time, it becomes a memory thing in your head. So, good thing people have this thing called imagination and the ability to learn. A lot of little fix-its coming up here. We can put a little thing in there, I think, to give us some variety. If I see something that I can add that is going to make it kind of, I don't know, kind of cooler, I'm going to put it in there. Hopefully it'll work out. The face is a disaster. Sundra Peale needs, what does she need? She needs whiteout. And there's her little gimmicky outfit right there. Yeah, a lot of times when you ink, especially your own work, you're going to see little places where you can change it and make it better, and that's yeah, the tip in this brush right here is getting a little worn, but you get the general idea. Correct? Correct. I'm glad we're all in agreement here. Oh, what kind of shoes is she sporting here? This is probably where we need the pen again. So we're going to get out the 108. I slow way down and things like this are going on. And that's the way you should think about it. Slow way down. Some things can be dashed off in a cursive kind of way. Other things, not so much. Aha. Where are we now? The face. To go back to that face again. Oh my God. If you want to do some halftones, here you go. Nothing ever wrong with that. Her eyes are not focused right. So what are we going to do about that? I think we're going to do some whiteout here, okay? All right, just pop in another musical, all right? And I'll be right with you. Now, hopefully that's dry, because if it isn't, I'm in trouble even more than I already am. Oh, my shoulder's in the way here. Mr. Producer, thankfully, is here to remind me that I'm doing something wrong here. So this is the whiteout that I use, this deleter whiteout number 2. It's gouache, but it's a different kind of gouache. Because if you're using the Pro White or whatever they call it from Dr. Martin's, that stuff is pure gouache. And you got to watch out for that, because if you're trying to ink over that stuff, you're going to plow through water-soluble paint. So let's get out the... yeah. Okay. Well, let's go for it here. This line is wrong. The mouth is not in keeping with a good mouth. Okay, definite improvement right there. Next time I turn in the air dryer, we're all going to sing Oklahoma together, okay? What is the deal with her? Let's just erase this nostril. So even nostrils are like a big deal. especially when it comes to girls. A little bit of touch here, a little bit of touch there. Her eyes don't look so bad now. So you see how it's done at the Dude Studios? Again, no charge. Little things to fix. Maybe a little bit of a thing going up there to show you that there's a separation. Now this ink is, this white ink here is pretty interesting stuff. Of course it comes from Japan because everything is still traditional over there. I'm gonna you can go in with black ink over that much easier than the regular gouache Dr. Martin thing with a red top than anything else I can think of. Boy, you fix up that nose. Here we go again. It's time for the musical. Oklahoma, where the wind riding down the train. All right, I'm done. I'm bored. Let's put that nostril in there, okay? I think that nostril is a little high. Let's check it out. Today is nostril day, so obviously it has to look good. I'm going to grab a little bit of that whiteout, or as much as I need, and I'm going to fix that nostril. It's just a touch. Yes, okay, we're going to fix it. Okay, now the nostril is good. I think the thing is working a little better. Let's get the mirror out. I see something else I can fix right here. Her nose construction is a little off. So I need to fix that nose. Now she's got a big nose. So you're working with all these little things like this skinny little brush right here. This Simply Simmons number 4. Round brush. I'm not going to let this go. You guys can't leave until I'm done here, okay? I'm going to fix that nose. So it should be dry, and to prevent any more screwing up so you guys can get back to your real life, I'm going to try to do that. What else do we have to do there? That's more or less correct. It's not perfect, but you remember what Kirby said about perfectionists? When you're trying to be perfect, oh, how did he say it? He goes, if you're a perfectionist, you spend all your time trying to be perfect, which kind of makes sense. Let's fix up a few details here. I know she's singing Oklahoma because I can tell the way her mouth is going there, that it's definitely Oklahoma. You see how delicate that has to be? I screwed up her nose a little bit more. So we'll get the white paint out again, and we'll give her a proper nose. See how fast you can give somebody a nose job in comics? There, okay, it's done. You guys can leave now. You can go back to your sauna and your whiskey sours. I think it's bar time, where somebody is. You got to sign it, right? No, I'm not going to sign it with this. That's how easy it is to add some. Never mind, okay? My talking lobe is gone. So let's just sign it here. It's July. Time's going away too fast. Did you ever think we'd see the year 2525? That sounds like a song from the 60s, that something in Evans. In the year 2525. Okay, there's my effort right there. I hope you like it. She's got a better nose than before, so she's going to be a happy girl. Patreon guys, you guys are really helping out because that's the name of the game here, and we all know that. Keep it coming, and we'll all be much happier for it. You'll get stuff from me, and I'll get groceries from you. Take care. See you next time.